Hello, everyone. We are live. This is the MMA Outsiders. This is another edition, episode 154. I am Zain, Bando. He's Jack Gold. It is Thursday afternoon. Jack, how are we doing?
Feeling good. Had a long weekend of travel to get back here, but ready for this MMA Outsider show for back-to-back pay-per-views.
Well, technically, it's back-to-back number or premium events, if you will, because at least for us in the United States, we're no longer in the pay-per-view era. But for everybody else, I guess, as you could say that. And yeah, that is a perfect segue into what we're going to be discussing today. Before we get into anything today, though, please be sure to like and subscribe to the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. You can do so at youtube.com/ETB Network. Very easy to do. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're watching in this video on any of our YouTube channels, whether it's the ETB Network YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, or of course Jack Gold's YouTube channel as well. Also, if you happen to be coming across this for the first time and you like what you're hearing, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps us out, and it tells the algorithm that you want more content like this. So please help us out on that front. Then again, of course, for those of you who don't know me at all, I'm Zain Bando. I'm a staff writer for MMAKnockout.com. Jack Gold is a bit of a jack of all trades and an independent MMA content creator. He's on the road a little bit more than I am. We were both on the road this past weekend for two totally different purposes. Jack, before we get into the show, how was everything just in regards to your commentary duties? And can you just kind of tell me and the viewers a little bit more about it, as I am clearly an outsider when it comes to pretty much some of the things you do, because some of the things you do are very different than some of the things I do. So please enlighten me on what that experience was like and just kind of what you took away from it.
Man, what I will say is thank you to our mutual friend, Harry Mack, for making it happen. He reached out to me to do play-by-play for CSE, the Gauntlet one in Brooklyn, New York, at the New York Fight Club. Luckily enough for me, my color commentary partner was Matt, the Steamroller Frivola, staple of the UFC, awesome guy. It was a really great night. I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of fun action. The MMA fights were great. We had some pillow fights on there, and it was a great experience, and I hope they have me back. But a little show here. I just wanted to show, I don't know if you've ever seen pillow fighting before.
I don't think I have. I've seen Kara-jitsu. I don't think I've ever seen pillow fighting, though. So
now, let's just take a little look here. This is my favorite pillow fighting match of the night. It was Muscle Man Malcolm versus Tommy Danagogo, two 340-pound heavyweights, throwing around these 2-pound pillows, and it was a fun time.
Okay. I will pop it up so everybody can see it.
He is 26 years old. His gym is the nearest Waffle House. He's a world champion powerlifter. He's a social media sensation. He knows The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Waffle House order, and he's the black version of Chris Van Vliet. He's from Washington, D.C., and he is ready to throw down in the Pillow Fighting Championship.
Jeez. Okay.
Oh, this is cinema. I don't know if you've seen the Martin Scorsese meme, but this is cinema.
Let's see. We got some talking going too. This might be a little bit of a mental game. Oh, I think Muscle Man's playing a little mental game.
I think Muscle Man got to do a little bit of his Muscle Man social media right now.
I wouldn't want.
And then we got to find these guys actually throwing the pillow. Here we go. Bang.
Solid defense. Solid.
Direct hit. Banging and banging.
Jeez. Okay.
But I had a great time. It was a fun experience. And yeah. What about you? How were your travels this weekend?
My travels this weekend were unbelievable because I saw one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen. And I know this is an MMA show, so I'll only divert for about 30 seconds or so. But for those of you who have never heard of Keaton Wagler, after you guys listen to this, you should Google him because he's a future NBA lottery pick. He had 46 points. He beat Braden Smith and Purdue. Illinois had not won at Purdue in 6 years. It was Brad Underwood's 100th Big Ten win. Illinois He's 0-9 in a row, and at the time that we are live on stream, Illinois has a chance to go for 10 in a row tonight against the Washington Huskies. You want to talk about absolute cinema on your side? It was absolute cinema at Mackey Arena. And from being the loudest basketball venue I've ever been in to dead silence when Illinois walked off the court with an 88-82 road win and arguably the biggest win of the entire season. And luckily enough, thanks to me, Keaton Wagler declared to the world that Illinois is a national title contender. So overall, it was a very, very solid Saturday afternoon and evening, and I could not have been happy to be honest with you, not just one of the best venues in the Big Ten, but one of the best venues in college basketball, period.
I was just going to say, the Mackey Center, that's a really great place to be. I went when I was a kid. It was, I forget who we were playing. It was not a big game, but
Okay.
man, a big game like that, I couldn't imagine. For you, a huge basketball fan.
Yeah, I was super happy to be there, and just 100% dead silence. The Purdue fans didn't know what to do with themselves, and not to divert even further, but I'm just gonna throw this in because I noticed it. Very, very, very few Purdue fans are actually classy. So it's something to keep in mind when you go to one of these games and you're either affiliated with the visiting team or you're covering the visiting team. As I was, there are not a lot of friendly Purdue fans, but in terms of the Mackey Arena security and stadium staff, they could not have been nicer. So overall, solid Saturday. Got home just in time to watch the beginning of the main card of UFC 324. I was a little worried, sick that I had missed the first fight, and sure enough, I got the memo that there was a whole intro and a curtain drop and all that. So I felt a little bit better after realizing what exactly happened the first 15 minutes of the show. I do my own internal research on that. But overall, though, a solid weekend. Excited to get into this episode now and just kind of discuss everything. So let's start where we should, though, and let's talk about the present before we talk about the past. Let's talk about this weekend's card. It's UFC 325 from Sydney, Australia. It's the same time in the United States as we're used to. This card was tailor-made to accommodate the American audience. So it's going to be a Sunday morning card for Australians, but it's going to be the same time for us. Are you ready to preview this card and talk about the 14 fights that we have on tap? Because overall, I think this card is pretty solid for an international pay-per-view. And full disclosure, you and I both did pretty well on the first UFC card of the year. You went 9-2. I went 7-4. Let's see if we can keep it going this Saturday with a few more correct picks. All I'm hoping for is that I at least do a little bit better on the main card. We struggled going 2-3, but nonetheless, that's why we have another week of fights. Are you ready to take a look at this thing or what?
I'm ready. And before we preview this card, I just want to say one thing. I am dialed for these Road to UFC fights. I am an old man. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I wake up at 6 o'clock. Zain Bando, he texts me at all hours of the night and I respond. But now, this started because I watched Road to UFC this year. They were on at 2 in the morning. They were on at 6 in the morning. And I wanted to jump off a building because I could not stay awake. But boy, oh boy, were those fights awesome, and I cannot wait.
Especially that 6 a.m. card was unbelievable. I woke up to watch that card.
Some of the best fights of 2025. They were spectacular. And a couple of these guys on this card, this UFC card, even if they don't win, it's going to be fun fights. Like these guys swing and bang.
They're studs. I agree. So let's pull up the card. Again, UFC 325. If you don't already know the memo by now, in the United States, no more pay-per-view. If you don't have Paramount Plus, subscribe to Paramount Plus because it's the only way in the United States you can watch the UFC, and you're going to want to do it. It's a bargain. It's the price of one pay-per-view. You get every single UFC event for the whole year. If you haven't already done so, go do it now because I don't think these free trials are going to last very much longer. But anyway, Jack, please carry on.
And not only that, okay. Before we keep dive in just for 20 seconds.
Sure.
I remember the UFC saying there was going to be a premium tier with less ads. Boy, oh boy, do I want that after this first event. A lot of ads.
Well, considering that I'm someone who has the premium version, the premium version did not work as it was supposed to work. Let me just say that right now. Regardless of what version you had, at least the general consensus I got is you still got the same number of ads. But yeah, if you want to go for premium, I would highly suggest it.
Yeah, I agree. They need to dial in there. But starting off for the 125, the flyweight tournament championship, we have Aaron Tao, the former UFC Contender Series alum. He fought Elijah Smith, who is very good, taking on Namsari Bayar. Now, this is a pick'em fight. Namsari Bayar minus 135, Tao Zumup plus 105. I'm pretty confident here that Namsari Bayar will get the victory.
See, I disagree. I think that even though Aaron Tao doesn't have formerly UFC experience, he does have Dana White Contender Series experience. And even though I know that those two things aren't mutually exclusive, they kind of are, in the sense that he knows what it's like to fight in front of Dana White. This other kid, as talented as he is, doesn't. I don't know if his octagon jitters are going to get to him. What I can tell you is it's going to be a fun fight. I just think Tao is a little bit cleaner everywhere. Could I be very wrong on this fight? 100%. Am I preparing to be completely wrong? Yeah, I just think for the most part, though, Tao is just a little bit more seasoned, and I think he'll be ready to go. But again, as you just alluded to a second ago, this is a pick 'em fight that I think could go multiple different ways. So I think we're going to go on opposite sides of the coin. I have Aaron Tao, and you have Bayar. But otherwise, though, I think it'll be a very interesting fight. I mean, do you think? Because you were kind of alluding to it a second ago. Do you think this fight has a chance to end in a finish, or do you think this is one of those fights where you could see the judges get involved at some point in the fight, to where we may need the scorecards at the end of it to determine a road to UFC finalist winner in this UFC 325 opening fight?
See, I think if Aaron Tao, I think Aaron Tao can win by decision. I don't think he's going to finish by Bayar.
That's what I'm picking. I'm picking Tao by decision more specific.
The reason I'm picking Bayar, I was gonna pick Ugualali as my champion. He looked super impressive, and then Bayar made himself look super impressive against him.
But tell me if you agree. If those two guys fought 50 times, I think you're looking at a potential 25-25 split. That's how good both of those guys are. Would you not agree with that?
I agree. I do agree. I think this is the best season so far of this show. But the reason I'm taking Bayar, Aaron Tao is strictly a striker. He's only 5'4". He's a little guy for flyweight. Bayar is 5'6". He's big. He's got a bigger reach, and he is he's dangerous on the ground. It doesn't have to be submissions. He has good power. His ground and pound's nasty. I think this is going to be a really, really fun fight, but I'm taking Bayar by submission.
Okay. Yeah, again, I think it's one of those fights where it could go multiple different ways. I could easily see a finish, but nonetheless, though, I think it has a chance to be a very entertaining prelim opener. And for people who don't know who either of these guys are, you could be introduced to one or two guys that, some of the newer UFC fans that maybe you just started watching a week ago because of this Paramount exclusivity. Maybe some of these road to UFC fights are guys that fans latch onto. You never know. So
100%.
So, yeah.
All right, next up, the 135-pound bantamweight tournament championship, Solon Grangbo versus Lawrence Louis.
I'll let you go first. What do you think?
So, okay. Solon Grangbo is a minus 225 favorite. The people are picking him heavy. And he's a dangerous on the feet. He's never lost by sub. He's been knocked out once and decision twice. but he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fight win streak, and he knocked out Peter Daniso, which I thought was very impressive.
Yeah, he did. And not only did he knock out Peter Daniso, he made Peter Daniso look silly.
Look silly, 100%. And my problem is I really like Lawrence Louis.
Okay.
On the feet, Silengangbo, huge advantage. But he's only 20 years old. He's a young guy. Lawrence Louis fought some. His competition as well in this tournament may have been the weakest.
Okay.
However, he's fought Anthony Drillich to a split decision, who I like Drillich a lot. I think he's good. He beat Toby Meach, who I think is good. The Quang Zhizhang fight, close but good. Knocked out Van Yi Nguyen viciously.
Right.
I think if Lawrence Louis can get the grappling going here, it could be a Lawrence Louis fight, but you know what? I'm going to take Lawrence Louis.
You are? Okay, let's see if I remember who I have for this, because it's a lot of fights to keep track of. I am taking Sukin Grabo, but I can see this fight going either way. So
it's just, man, Silengangbo is a pure striker. Like, that's the thing. He's just a nasty striker. So we'll have to see. Next fight up, the featherweight 145 title tournament championship. And this is the fight I am personally most excited for. We've got Sebastian Salazar versus Kichihiro Nakamura. Okay. Sebastian Salazar.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me that this is the fight you're most excited about on the entire card?
No. Of the road to UFC fights.
Okay, because I was gonna say, if you were about to tell me that fight was the most excited you were, like, considering this card, I would say that that's a real hardcore answer. I was gonna give you props, but out of just the road to UFC fights, that's not a bad argument.
Top 2 of the prelims. Because here's what I'll say. I was super impressed with Salazar. Super impressed. He reminds me a lot of he's like a Volk type. You know what I mean? Like, very twitchy, very technical, very
twitchy, technical, and a guy who likes to, I guess you could say, pick his spots really well, and do so in such a way to where there's no question what he's going to do as soon as he gets in there. So,
and he's super well rounded. That's what I like to say as well. He's super well rounded. He's never been finished. He'll take you to a decision. He has the power to knock you out. He'll take you down and sub you. Like, he is a very well-rounded fighter. But Kichihiro Nakamura, he might have been my most favorite surprise of the whole season.
Okay.
His knee on Ejin Park
was insane.
Vicious.
Absolutely insane.
Vicious. Like, this dude, he's clean, he's slick, he's beautiful striker. His knees are crazy. Like, he has crazy power. He's got crazy reach. Crazy reach for 145. Maybe not crazy like Conor reach, but like, he's 5'8". 70, it says 70 and a half here. I think I wrote the UFC, it says 71 and a half. 5'8", bigger than Salazar. But here's the thing. That Kai Wen Lee fight, he looked awesome in that first round. He barely won that. Barely.
Right.
I think in this fight's a near pick'em. I'm taking Salazar. I think I'm going to go either by decision. I think I'm going to go by decision, but I think Salazar is just in his prime, well-rounded, and ready to go.
I have Salazar finishing him in the second round. I think it's going to be an awesome fight, though.
I agree. I'm super excited for this one. Next up, this fight is an interesting one, and it's Dam Marfan versus Sang-Woo Kim. Now, both of these guys, it says minus 180 for Dam Marfan. It's closer to minus 146 right now.
Okay, so they haven't re-updated it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's there's some money coming in on Sang-Woo Kim.
Okay.
but I think Don Marfam is going to win this fight. Like, they're both heavy grapplers.
Okay.
Like, Sang-Woo Kim, big. I think he's a little bit of a bigger, taller guy than Don Marfam, but his wins are like they just drown you, right? But this guy also lost to Rong Zhu.
And Rong Zhu is no slouch. Everybody, the people who know, and meaning like the real geeks who know how tough that guy is. So that isn't a surprise. So
It's not a surprise. It's also I just like, this guy's good, man. He's really good. But I think Don Marfan is also really good, and he drowns you. He's not a huge finisher, but I think he will drown Sang-Woo Kim. And the only person he's ever lost to, both losses, are rear naked chokes to Quillen Salkeld.
right, and Quillen's Salkeld, obviously, who we'll get to in a little bit, is opening the main card in a very interesting fight himself. So,
agreed. So I think this is going to be a very grapple heavy fight. I can see Sang-Woo Kim ending up getting the finish, but I think if this fight goes to a decision, Don Marfan is getting the victory.
I am taking Marfan by decision. Where are you leaning at?
I think Marfan decision.
Okay.
Next up to start the UFC bouts, we have Khan Offley versus Yeet Sa. Who do you like?
I like Khan Offley to get a signature win, and a win that he desperately needs, in my opinion. What do you think?
I have been leaning Khan Offley all week, but I think I'm gonna switch it up, and I think I'm gonna pick Yeet Sa.
Okay, can you explain why?
I'm just remembering the last two fights he had and how good he did. His last 5 fights, even. Like, he ran through Road to UFC and won. Subbed Kai Wen Lee, who was on this season, in round 1 to win, get in the show. Went to a decision with Gabriel Santos. And if you know ball, Gabriel Santos is that freaking guy. His UFC record doesn't show it. His UFC record doesn't show it.
That's one of the best fights in recent memory that nobody talks about.
Agreed. And then he just nuked Weston Wilson in a minute, and in 30 seconds.
But let's be real. Weston Wilson was a little bit overhyped. No,
Weston Wilson is one of the worst UFC fighters there were. But I'm just saying, 30 seconds, he did what he was supposed to do.
Right.
Not only that, he took Gabriel Santos to a decision, who's finished Josh Jenkins, who beat Lerone Murphy. And if you watch Contender Series, Gabe Santos finished Jose Delano and Marcio Barbosa, 2 of the highest hyped guys coming in this year.
Right.
And he beat Elvis Brenner. So it's like, if all by finish. So are you telling me, not Brenner, but the other guys, if Yeet Sa went to a 29-28 with this guy, I think he's going to be able to beat Khan Offley.
Okay, so we disagree, but do you at least think it'll go the distance? What do you think?
I think it probably will go the distance, but I can see Yeet Sa getting the finish.
Okay.
Next up, a fight that I am having a lot of trouble picking: Jonathan McAuliffe versus Oban Elliott.
I'm taking Oban Elliott. What about you?
I'm unsure. Why are you taking Oban?
Why am I taking him? I just think McAuliffe is going to be susceptible to something, and he's going to rush into something and be winning most of the fight and get caught. That's what I think.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be one of those fights where all he has to do, Jack, is coast, and he forgets that he's coasting, and he gets knocked out. That's what I think.
Interesting. I'll pick Jonathan McAuliffe.
Okay.
I think he's got the capability to get this done, and he's got the range on him.
That does play a factor, doesn't it?
And I think he's going to out-grapple him. I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
Fair enough.
Next up, we have Jonathan Mamba Malkoon versus Torres the Punisher Finney. This is a fight where the odds are wrong. This is going to be a Torres Finney knockout.
Really? Well, what makes you think the odds are wrong? See, I disagree with you, and I think Malkoon is going to be able to weather the early storm and win a decision. Why do you like Torres Finney on Saturday?
Listen, I've got eyes and ears inside the Finney camp.
Okay.
And DC is the best thing to ever happen to Torres Finney.
Okay.
Torres, he wasn't locked in last year. He was wishy-washy. He was thinking about other things. This year, he's dialed. He's training with the other goofy. He's training with the peak guy who fights like him. He found the guy who's like, okay, who has been smaller than everyone that he's ever fought? Daniel Cormier. Who's a great wrestler? Daniel Cormier. Who has some of the nastiest ground and pound, maybe not most vicious, but just tormenting ground and pound in MMA? Daniel Cormier. And who has been able to knock out the greatest heavyweight of all time on the feet? Stipe Miocic. Daniel Cormier. And now you have a guy like Torres Finney who is unlike anybody you can train for. He's 5'8". He doesn't have a neck. He's got a bowling ball for a head. His torso itself is 150 pounds. Each leg is a tree trunk. He's got the reach of a 6'5" man. He was a freak football player. He used to weigh like 240. In speaking to Cam Rouston, he said it was so awkward fighting Torres Finney.
Okay.
Couldn't get a hold of him. You can't really control a guy like that. Now, I can totally understand the Mamba weathering the storm, shooting takedowns, yada, yada.
See, that's exactly how I think the fight's going to go, though.
No, I agree. I can see that too. But I think Torres is going to he has such powerful top control. I think he's going to be able, and Mamba Malkoon is the smallest guy he might ever fight. I think Torres can knock him out on the feet. I think he can reverse him and knock him out on the ground. I think this is going to be a Torres Finney KO.
Okay.
Confident. Lock of the week.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I gotta say, every week there's always the one fight that sneaks up on you that people least expect. I mean, given what you just alluded to and given what's already out there, again, none of it would be a surprise either way. Again, there's a lot of even fights on this card to where the odds maybe don't really show it, but the hardcores know how competitive some of these fights are, and I think that's what makes it very interesting. So,
I love it. Next up, Cam Rouston versus Cody Brundage. We don't have to break this down. Give me Cam Rouston by finish.
Yeah, this one's easy. You want to talk about a potential lock of the week for me? That is my lock of the week. Is Cam Rouston by whatever he wants versus Cody Brundage in the second to last prelim of the evening. So,
love it. Next up, we've got Billy Alicana headlining the prelims versus Junior Tafa. Again, this one's cut and dry to me. This is going to be a Billy Alicana submission.
Okay, I actually am going with the upset, and I'm taking Junior Tafa by knockout.
They've got another one. They got another one, guys. The Tafa brothers caught him again. Listen, if you're losing to Tuco Tokos, I'm taking Billy Alicana.
Fair enough. It's not like Tukos was all world, was he? So
oh man. Now, starting the numbered event, we have Quillen Salkill, mate, versus Jeremy Malarkey. Quillen closer to a minus 1,100 favorite.
1,100 favorite.
Minus 440 to get a finish versus Jamie Malarkey. This is a massive spot. And if he loses, he will be officially cursed. He has to fight minorities. He is the minority. If this white man knocks him out at plus 500, all hell will break loose. Even Quillen himself said if he loses this, he's finished. He's racist.
So you're not going to believe this. And this is a mic drop moment. and I think we're gonna have an early candidate for upset of the year.
See, I don't think so. I think Quillin is good enough to dial in and get this dub. Like, I think I've been a Quillin denier. I've picked against Quillin. I picked Nazareth Hakparas pretty vehemently last time. I picked Yanal Ashmuz pretty confidently before that as well. I just think he's shown, like, Quillin's last 5 fights, Dom Marfam submission, Gage Young decision, Anshul Jubilee first round knockout, decision Yanal Ashmuz, head kick Nazareth Hakparas. I can see this being a Quillin style kill decision.
Okay. And what makes you say that is more specifically, maybe for the people that don't know either of these guys, and why the odds are as wide as they seem to be?
Well, Quillin is very popular online, let me tell you, because his first UFC fight, he became known as the Redeemer. And if you don't know, Anshul Jubilee, the first Indian male, the one of the only, I don't want to say the first, but the only Indian male in the UFC. He was talking crazy. He was saying he could beat Khabib. He was saying that he was the best in the world, which, like, obviously, yada yada. And Quillin came out there and knocked him out in 15 seconds. And then the whole world was saying, "Do not redeem," and he redeemed it. And then he fought Yanal Ashmuz. Yanal Ashmuz is from Israel. If there's a pattern here, the online hatred is pretty heavy on these groups. Next fight was Nazareth Hakparas, who's from the Middle East. That's 3 in a row. So now a lot of people online are praising Quillin, and they love Quillin for this. And I like him. I like Quillin, but I don't understand the weird racism aspect of it.
Can I explain it to you?
Yeah.
It's because MMA fans are very different. There's a sector of MMA fans that care about only fighters from their country of origin. Okay, so let's actually divert this, because there's been tons of videos made, but we haven't really spoken about this. So I think there are 4 tiers of MMA fans. I'm just gonna be completely honest, and one of them are the people who single-handedly only root for fighters that they have a personal, either cultural or country of origin connection to. That's one. Then there's the tier. This is in no hierarchy order. It's just off the top of my head. Then there's the next tier of people that will only show up when the fights have some sort of name at the top, whether it's like a Volk this weekend, like a Taportia, like an Islam, stuff like that. Then you get
like a Patty. I couldn't believe how many people I know don't watch UFC posting about Patty Pimblett.
Yeah, I was amazed myself. Then you have the tier 3 people that are the hardcores that will watch everything. Then you have the tier 4 people that come around once every 4 years when they think, oh, McGregor's coming back, and he never comes back. So I think those are the 4 tiers of MMA fans, but one of them for sure has to be exactly what you're describing. People that only root for or try to spin a narrative that doesn't exist or doesn't make sense because it's related to their favorite fighter's country of origin. So, and I'm not trying to spill race into this. I'm just saying what I've seen online. There are tons of people that are 1,000% like this. So everything you're saying is 100% valid.
And I just think it's odd. However, back to the fights. I do think Quillin is a cool guy, and I think he's a good fighter, and I think he's going to win this fight.
Okay.
You got Jamie Malarkey.
I do. And again, I'm very prepared to be wrong. I'm very prepared, to be honest with you, to have this card not go as well as I would hope. But the next fight, hopefully this is one where I feel extremely confident in. And if somehow this fight doesn't go the way I think it's going to go, I'm going to be so disappointed. So,
who do you got?
Taliesin Teixeira.
Interesting. So it's tied to Ivasa's return off of not ideal losing streak. versus Taliesin Teixeira, who's also he just lost to Derek Lewis, right? He hasn't fought since then.
Yeah, he got viciously knocked out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Ty is Ty's last win was also Derek Lewis, but it was February 12th of 2022. And
which is a fight that, by the way, I don't mean to make this about him. I think that's a fight that Steve will do it, win a crap ton of money on, because he's still pretty good friends with Tai Tuivasa. But I digress, and please please continue.
And if you look at Ty's career, it is one where he's had a resurgence before, and it's one of those weird things because he finished over Rashad Coulter, finished over Cyril Asker, decision win over Arlovsky, knockout to JDS, lost to Blagoy, lost to Spivak, comes back after a year layoff, knockout of Stephen Struve, who is dead scared
Stephen Struve,
who is dead scared of him. Then he knocked out Harry Hunsucker immediately, who was dead scared of him.
How can you prove that both of those guys were dead scared of him?
They were just they didn't throw punches; they were running away.
Yeah, but what makes you say that they were scared? They could have just been nervous. There's no way to factually prove that they were scared, though.
Okay, let me rephrase it then. You
Sure.
love doing this. You love being real nitpicky. What I mean is they didn't want none. They didn't want to be hit. That is fear.
Fair enough.
Struve was going, and then got domed on the fence. Same with Harry Hunsucker. Same with Greg Hardy, who rocked Ty.
Which I was there. I was there. He viciously knocked out Greg Hardy into the oblivion. It was unreal.
Then the next fight, Sakai, then Derek Lewis. All of those guys aren't great. And then the second he gets to the upper echelon again, Cyril Gane, finish. Sergey Pavlovich, finish. Alexander Volkov, finish. Marcin Tybura, finish. Split decision versus Jairzinho Rogenstrike, a joke of a split decision.
Oh, it was terrible.
And I think you're right. Taliesin Teixeira I think he might even get the finish here.
Yeah, I think Teixeira is knocking him out in the first round. That's the one that I'm, no question about it, the most confident in, is Taliesin Teixeira knocking out Tai Tuivasa. If he doesn't, I will be blown away.
All right, next up, we have Mauricio Huffy versus Rafael Fiziev. Now,
I'm rocking with the fighting nerds. Give me Huffy in a war. What do you think?
This one I'm having some trouble with because I think I'm going to take Huffy.
Okay.
By finish.
Okay.
But the betting odds were a little weird on this one. So it came out at about a 110 either way. And then the money came in heavy on Fiziev. He went up to a minus 190. And now it came all the way back down to a pick'em. So it's
because these guys were high level, and you have to think Rafael Fiziev less than a year ago fought Justin Gaethje in a great fight. So the odds makers must know something that we don't. That's what I think.
That's what I'm saying too. I think with the money coming back heavy on Huffy, I think I'm going to trust the odds makers and pick Huffy here. But I think this is going to be a very fun fight.
Okay. What do we think of the co-main event?
I'm torn. I think I got to trust my gut. I'm taking Dan Hooker.
I'm taking Dan Hooker. Also, I think this is one of those fights where he and BSD just stand in the center and just start swinging. It's gonna be a crazy fight. What do you think?
I think it's one of those fights where like BSD is gonna try to march him down, and I think because Dan's so long, he showed improved grappling defense against Arman. You can't tell me he didn't.
He did.
So, and I don't think Benoit is nearly as an aggressive.
He didn't win, but he fought his absolute ass off. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, so, and I don't think Benoit is nearly the aggressive as a grappler as Arman. So I think Dan Hooker might be able to ping him up on the feet.
Okay. Are you taking Hooker by stoppage or by decision?
I'll take Dan Hooker by knockout.
Okay. How do I have him at? I have Dan Hooker by decision. In fact, I end the night. I'm not going to say who I'm picking in the main event yet, but I end the main card with 3 straight decision predictions. But they're all really exciting fights, though. So I'll take 3 decisions as long as they're all really close. So.
And next up, the main event of UFC 325. I know who you're picking. I know who I'm picking. It's Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. And still,
I'm taking Volk also. This isn't going to be as dominant as the first fight. I think Lopez will give him some different looks, but you're asking to go to Volk's house for Volk's first title defense of his second reign. Get out of here. No, if Volkanovski by unanimous decision, great fight. Lopez fights his ass off like he usually does. And I have a sneaking suspicion the UFC probably wants to make the trilogy to keep the Movistar possibility as far away as possible. But I think Volk will be ending the series up 2-0. And do you think my narrative is remotely even close to correct, or am I totally off base in saying that?
No, I think you're right. And supposedly it's Movsar versus Lerone headlining UFC London. We also have some new updates. Brian Ortega is out of his fight with Renato Moicano, and it is being given to fellow Australian Tom Nolan.
It's going to be a very interesting fight and a huge step up in competition if I've seen one for Mr. Nolan. That's going to be very interesting.
They also have Tafik Mosiah versus Sam Sanchez April 4th. Curtis Campbell is booked versus Danny Silva for London.
I like Danny Silva in that fight. That's my way too early pick. By the way, I know London isn't until way later in this Q1 period, but I think it'll be a good fight though.
So, and we also have Vicente Luque versus Kyle Dawkins, UFC 327.
That'll be a very interesting fight. And it is officially confirmed for Miami on April 11th, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So yeah, that will do it to preview UFC 325 from the Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney, Australia. Again, main card start time, new start time, second straight week now. It'll be the norm moving forward, 9 Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Prelims begin 5 Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Don't miss it, only on Paramount Plus in the United States, Latin America, and Brazil. But with that being said, we never even popped this, just in case you guys are coming in a little late. We did preview this fight. Jack and I are both picking Alexander Volkanovski to beat Diego Lopes and defend his UFC featherweight title. And it's very good to note that Volk at the pre-fight presser, which was very early this morning here, it was at 2 a.m. Eastern. I watched it a couple hours ago when it was all done. Volk did say that as long as he wins and as long as he doesn't really have a lot of damage taken, he will return relatively quickly. So a huge positive sign for those who are Volk super fans. So I thought it was interesting to note. And yeah. All right, let's go through and talk about some other stuff in the final 15 minutes. Let's talk about the first Paramount event. It was UFC 324. Obviously, we already know the result. We had Justin Gaethje winning a decision in a great fight versus Paddy Pimblett to become the new interim UFC lightweight champion, becomes the first 2-time interim champion in UFC history. It's hilarious to say that. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that milestone, that a unofficial belt has now been won on 2 separate occasions. That's very, very weird. So now that sets up a unification fight between he and Ilia Topuria sometime later this year, maybe at the White House, maybe not. We were supposed to get some updates on the White House. I don't think we have any updates on the White House at the time that we're recording this. And Jack, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. But overall, though, a pretty solid main event. Before we just briefly discuss the main event with the 15 minutes that we do have, can we talk about just really quick the first Paramount experience, what you thought of it? I'll go into what I thought of it, but I think you're going to have some different perspectives than maybe I had, because you actually watched the prelims as they were happening and I did not. So if you could just kind of clue me in on what your viewing experience was like leading up to the main card, that would kind of help me contextualize everything, and I will go into my thoughts because I was able to watch the full main card, the pay-per-view card in full, and I actually have some bad news which I'm not ready to reveal yet. So I'm going to let you go first, though.
See, I actually only got to watch the co-main and main event live because I was working.
Okay.
So I rewatched all of the fights on my flight home and at the airport, and they were really good. Like, I think it started off hot. I think Ty Miller looked sharp as hell. I think Josh Hockett, man, I was dead wrong. Is he a fucking douche? But God, he's
You're
good.
100% right. Hey, by the way, before we do anything, you want to take away Tapology from the bottom of this?
Oh, this is the 324 one if you want to take it up.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay.
So like, you had Ty Miller, 459 knockout in the first round. Then it was Hockett versus Freeman, also 459 of round one. It was one of those fights where it was dominant from the get-go. Hockett beat the shit out of Denzel Freeman, literally kicked him in the body, shoved him across the ring, flipped him off, and Mark Smith waved it off.
And then not to even get into his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan, but his post-fight press conference was just bizarre. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And then I know you were probably going to get to this, but I have to just ask, that Ariel Helwani interview was very awkward. Did you see any of it?
Well, Hockett's listen, as a fighter, dude's a problem. Like, he's an athlete.
He's a problem, but dude, let's think about this. Once he fights a real heavyweight, he's screwed. Everybody, and he knows that. I'm talking about a real heavyweight that's been around the division for a while. I mean, dude,
I think you're wrong.
Really?
I think you're wrong. I think I'm just gonna look here. I'm gonna look at the rankings. I think he could be ranked number 6 today.
Really?
Like, here's the heavyweight rankings. 15, Tolson Teixeira. I'm taking Hockett.
I'm taking Tolson Teixeira. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he drags him down and drowns him. I think Walter Walker is a tough one. I think Hockett knocks him out on the feet.
I agree with that. I think Hockett beats Walter Walker too.
I think Parkin's a hard fight, but I think Parkin's too passive. I think Hockett gets a win.
And Parkin also another drawback from him is the fact that he doesn't get off first the way he should.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. A little too passive for Hockett. Tai Tuivasa, Hockett. Shamil Gaziev, tough fight. I'm taking Hockett.
Okay. I like Hockett as well because Gaziev's gas tank is just way too suspect.
Agreed. Well, this is the thing. All of their gas tanks are suspect. Derek Lewis, I'm taking Hockett. Ante Delia, tough fight. I don't know who I'm taking there.
Interesting. Okay.
I think Hockett beats Marcin Tybura today.
Okay.
I think
see that one I'm a little bit torn on.
Hockett, I think, goes to a very hard fight with Spivak and wins. And then I think number 6 is where he starts having problems. I think you could insert Josh Hockett at number 7 right now.
Dude, off of a win over Denzel Freeman, I think is a little bit too premature. He needs at least 3 to 4 more wins, in my opinion.
See, it's not just the Freeman win, though, that's saying that to me. It's the Uriel fight, huge dude. Maximenov fight, great grappler, big dude. Denzel Freeman, supposed to be a good prospect, smaller dude. Like, I think he's been able to fight most of these guys. His competition hasn't been the best, but I think he potentially will. I think he's going to be a ranking staple very soon. But personally, I think he's a douche. He and Judy.
No, he is. He is. I think
99.9%,
maybe even 100% of people agree with you.
His shtick is dumb. He acts like he didn't want to be in the NFL. It's like, hey, buddy, the minimum salary for a practice squad player is $665K. Sure, you're walking away from that to fight for 10-10. Hallelujah. But I think he has a real good – he's going to be a ranked heavyweight, maybe top 10 by the end of the year.
It's a bold prediction. We shall see. Anything else in regards to the either the event itself or just the Paramount viewing experience. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had to turn the Paramount stream off. I had to find a different stream because the influx of ads just killed the whole viewing experience for me. Killed it. I couldn't see entrances until the co-main and main event. I couldn't see corner work. Like the whole thing was just an nauseating viewing experience.
No, it was the ads drove me nuts, even on the watch back. But some other performances I just want to touch on. Alex Perez, what did I say? What did I say?
You were right, yeah.
Nikita Krylov, kind of a dull fight till the last minute. Cool. What did you think about Ateba's performance?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen the fight yet. Do you think he looked good?
I think people saying Pulev won are nuts. I think Ateba won easily, but I think we got to chill out on. I think he needs more time.
Is it worth a rewatch or no?
Yeah, I think it's worth a rewatch.
Okay.
Umar Figgy, not worth a rewatch. This fight sucked. Like, so bad to the point it's just like, what do you do with Umar?
So why do you think Dana said that Umar looked good? Do you think it's because he didn't watch it, or do you think
it's because he looked good, like he dominated, but like it was boring as shit.
Fair enough.
He was like outpointing him a little bit round one, took him down, outpointed him all round two, and then outpointed him, and then took him down and held him down until the end of round three. Like it was just like tit for tat. But here's where some of the good stuff started happening. Gene Silva, Arnold Allen.
That was a great fight.
Banger. Arguably, I almost would score it for Arnold Allen if it literally weren't for Gene Silva jumping off his back. I think 1 and 3 were very close.
Okay, what did you think of the Rose Natalia Silva scorecards? Because some people thought that Rose won.
I thought Rose won.
I thought so too.
But hey, I'll take the win. I'll take the pick. But boring. Also very, very boring.
Right.
What did you think about the Waldo finish? That was a weird one to me.
It was an awful fight. The fight was awful.
Very slippery. But to the point where Derek Lewis just falls on his back and gives up. I don't know.
I mean, dude, even if that didn't happen, did you really think that Waldo was going to lose that fight? No way. I mean, at that point, I'm saying at that point in the fight.
He was going to win.
Yep.
He was going to win. Now, the co-main. This one has people up in arms. And I feel like I'm one of the only people on earth that thinks Sean O'Malley won round 1 and 3 clearly.
I think he did too.
Everybody on Twitter and Instagram being Song.
I think Sean O'Malley almost finished Yudong, which people aren't talking about. If he would have landed a few more kicks in round 3, he might have finished him.
Maybe. I think Song
was putting together some pretty good combinations. It might be worth a rewatch for you and some other people because he looked really good in the third round.
I know round 3 round 3 was obviously his, but I think it kind of felt like Song just thought he won round 1 and 2,
which he did. Okay,
yeah, it was a weird one.
Okay, do you agree that so this is how I scored the main event? I had Gaethje winning rounds 1, 2, 4, and 5.
I had Pimblett 3 and 5. So I thought it was 48-47. And I see a lot of talk about eye pokes, and man, was Gaethje fighting dirty. But I don't think it was to the point where it was like Patty kicked him right in the cock twice. Like they were both following each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there was one eye poke that was glaringly missed, though.
Yeah, blatantly.
Really bad.
But it's
now, I'm not saying it would change the entire complexion of the fight, but it would have been very important.
I agree. I would be tending. I'm okay with them. I would have been okay with the point taken if they would have given Gaethje round 5. Because Gaethje deserved to win that fight. If Patty won that fight on a point deduction, I would have lost my shit. That was Gaethje beat the piss out of him. But to Pimblett's credit, tough as nails, Great
Tough
fight.
as nails, super classy afterward.
Super
He even
classy.
said if he wanted to lose to one guy, it would be Gaethje. Like, he said all the right things. It was pretty cool.
Fantastic fight. But what was the fucking game plan? Where are the takedowns, dude? Your best asset is grappling. Fucking grapple this guy.
He probably thought he could knock him out. He probably thought the whole fight that he could knock him out. And
Well, he
that's why
thought
he didn't
wrong.
change his game. No, I agree. I'm just saying that was probably his mindset. So
Dumb. Do what you're best at.
well said. So
Now-
overall, I give this card a B minus. What about you?
I'll give it a C plus because I
A
think
C plus, dude. Come on, are you serious?
here's my things. All things considered, too many ads. First 4 fights were fun. Then it was dull for a while. Then we had a really good fight with Gene Silva and Arnold, and then it was dull for a while. And then the main event was awesome, which really saved this thing. But if we're thinking good cards, like C is average. I think with 4 good finishes and a great fight in a main event, we went 50-50. We bump it up. We're looking at a C plus. I'll even give it a B minus because
so you are agreeing with me to an extent.
I think it was close. Like I think it was just like a great main event, one of the best fights I've ever seen. Like, was it competitive? Like the most competitive? I don't know. But it was hectic. It was just chaos the whole time. The Arnold Allen Gene Silva fight was very fun. The first 4 fights of the night were very cool finishes. Just the rest of the card was dull. I'm expecting a better event this time around.
I hope you are 100% right. With the little time we do have, let's just jump right in and do quick picks. Zuffa Boxing 2. We're off the heels of Zuffa Boxing 1 at the Meta Apex in Vegas. Back at the Meta Apex again. It's Valenzuela versus Torres, another small card on a Sunday evening. So if you have nothing else to do, you can turn on Paramount Plus and watch these fights. I went 6-2. You went undefeated. What are your quick picks for Zuffa Boxing 2 this Sunday from the Meta Apex in Las Vegas? Who do you got?
I'm gonna take. I'll go Jose Valenzuela. That looks like who the UFC wants to win.
I'm taking him too. There's no way I'm not picking against Boachuk though. Boachuk is a beast.
I'm taking Boachuk as well. I'm gonna take Alexander Godzik.
Okay. I'm gonna take him as well.
I'm gonna take Jaleel Hackett.
I'm taking Hackett as well. We might actually end up having the same picks. So
I'm gonna pick Oscar Perez.
Okay. I am gonna go with Villaria, but I am more than willing to be wrong. And to be quite honest, on the read on both of these guys, this is the one fight on the card where I know neither of these guys at all. So this is more of a best guess pick than anything else. So
agreed. I'm gonna take Christian Perez here.
I'm gonna take Christian Perez too. I've actually heard a lot about him. So I'm excited to see him on a bigger stage. How about you?
I know nothing, but I like it.
Okay.
I'll go with.
I'm gonna go with Tally over Williams.
I think I'm gonna take Williams.
Okay.
And then I'll take Van Hooter.
Okay, I'm gonna take Van Hooter as well. You want him by decision or you want him by KO?
I think they're all gonna be decisions.
All of them? Every single fight.
Besides Bohachuk.
So Bohachuk is gonna be a knockout?
I think so.
Okay, so what are the only 2 we disagree on out of all these?
We disagree on Oscar Perez and Viloria and Devontae Williams and Jamar Talley.
Okay. And speaking of boxing, final topic before we get out of here, just really, really quick thoughts on this. Tyson Fury announced that he's coming back April 11th on Netflix against a dude I've never heard of. Is this a layup fight? What do we think here?
I don't think so, man. You gotta know. I can't remember his name now that it's the top of my head, but I think it's like Arslan Bekmuk. Blah, blah, blah.
It's on the banner, my guy.
Oh, here we go. Arslan Bekmambetov. He's no joke. Like, he's lost before. Like, he lost to Agit Kabayel.
Are you popping it or no?
I can pop it if you want me to. Here, let's pop it.
Sure,
but I know him because he just fought Dave Allen.
Oh, that's a fight I did watch. I remember.
Supposed to be a big fight.
I remember.
Yeah, so he beat up Dave Allen pretty good. And I think it's supposed to be like Tyson Fury comes out, gets revenge for the boy, and I think he will win. But I don't think this is an easy fight by any means.
Okay, do you think he knocks him out though, or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so on a day
his only losses are knockouts.
So on a day that's going to feature PFL Chicago, UFC 327, and Tyson Fury's comeback fight, how do you think the ratings will do for this Netflix card? And that card, by the way, Teofimo versus Shakur, is going to be unbelievable.
I know. I want to go over the quick picks too. I know we're running late here, but there's a lot of fights this weekend.
Okay, who do you got? I like Shakur Stevenson.
I think I'm taking Teofimo. I hate Shakur Stevenson.
Oh, you hate him? Okay.
Hate him. I think Keyshawn gets the win, and I think Bruce Carrington gets the win.
Yeah, I like Keyshawn also. And who do you like, Carlos Adames or Austin Williams? You haven't told me yet.
I'm gonna take Adames
by decision.
Yeah.
Okay, and you like Bruce Carrington?
Then I like Bruce Carrington. I like Jarrell Miller, and I like Ziad El Mayouf.
Okay, so the only fight we disagree on is the main event. So, by the way, that's on DAZN. If you guys don't already have the DAZN bundle plan or whatever the hell it's called, you can get that, and Teofimo versus Shakur is included, and you'll save like $70. So it'll probably end up being worth it if you want to watch it legally from. I think is that fight in Brooklyn, New York? I can't remember.
It is in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Hopefully, it's on before the main event for UFC, so I can watch both.
And lastly, last thing for me, I just want to say congratulations to my dear friend Nathan Rivera. He is a full-time fighter as of today.
Congratulations to your boy. It's good to see. Excited to see what he can do at the next level in the next couple of years. It should be fun. And by the way, my former, and this is a plug. This is for later in the winter. But my first ever Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor, his son is fighting for a world title in APFC in March. So I'm excited to see that.
Heck yeah.
So overall, though, it was a busy weekend of fights. It's going to be another busy weekend this weekend as we go into the month of February, Jack, because we have 69 people watching this. Any final thoughts as we wrap up this edition? It is episode 154 of the MMA Outsiders. I will let you have the final word.
Man, I just can't wait. We have a big, packed weekend of fights. We've got boxing. We've got UFC. We've got all sorts of stuff. I'm excited. Hopefully, we keep it going. I'm 17-2 starting off the year. Let's go.
Yeah, you're 17-2 to start the year off. I was extremely surprised. I didn't think you'd come out of the gate that hot. But dude, I gotta give it to you, man. You when you're on your stuff, you really know what you're talking about. And yeah, and we didn't preview it, but for any of you sickos in the morning, if you want to watch Octagon 83, that also exists. And there's probably a few other fights that I'm forgetting about all over the world, too, that are taking place as well. But overall, though, this was a really fun stream. We will be back next week. It's episode 155. That will air 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. We're going to recap UFC 325. We'll preview the first UFC Fight Night event of the year. You guys have to remember, it's 30 Fight Night events in this new deal, 13 numbered UFCs. So the marathon officially begins, where we're going to be getting a lot of fight nights over the like 7 or 8 weeks because there's not another numbered UFC event until March. So if you're a hardcore to lock in, we have the first card next Saturday. So we'll preview that and so much more. And hopefully we can give you some White House news because hopefully by then they'll have already finished all of their matchmaking obligations. But I'm not holding my breath about it. I'm going to guess it's probably going to be about a month before we really know anything.
I can almost guarantee, zero sources, this is just me, the main event, Ilia Topturo versus Justin Gaethje, co-main event, Peter Yan versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. Calling it now. That's going to be the White House headline.
So that's going to be the main and co-main event. So none of this John Jones, Alex Pereira. It's not going to be Conor McGregor versus anybody. Okay.
It's going to be Justin Gaethje and Sugar Sean representing America.
There's going to be a lot of angry humans if that's the case. Twitter is going to be a cesspool for 2 weeks straight.
It's
if that
like
actually
both get viciously beat up.
No, which would be so terrible. But nonetheless, though, that's going to do it. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Thank you to the 68 plus people that tuned into the stream. We appreciate you guys, whether it was YouTube or X. We will see you guys next week. Thanks so much. Enjoy your week off from football. Hopefully you can check out some college basketball too, as it's a loaded college basketball weekend all around the country as you stay warm from this brutal cold that's taking place throughout most of the United States of America. But until next week, he's Jack Gold. I'm Zain Bando. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers, everyone.